you're interested in learning more about, getting into the food tech space, now is a really good time to consider it because, sustainability is a huge trend, and within it, food tech actually plays an important part. And a lot of times when we think about food tech, immediately we think about, oh, it's got to be, alternative meat or different types of, manufacturing of meat. But food tech is actually a very broad spectrum. Hi everyone, this is Norma, the founder of DayDayCook. DayDayCook is a direct-to-consumer brand focusing on providing healthy meal solutions to the younger generation. So in terms of the food tech ecosystem in Hong Kong, I would say it's still a very early stage. And to kind of promote this ecosystem, I started a platform called Good Food Movement last year. And the whole idea is to really help build the ecosystem where we can foster local startup teams focusing in the food tech space to get access to capital, to get access to corporate partners, and also recruit talent to eventually, grow and also expand their innovation locally here in Hong Kong, and eventually take their products into the mainland China market and also globally into other parts of the world. My experience or commercially with the business, how we started dabbling into the food tech space really started in 2020. I think during the pandemic, a lot of consumers are a lot more health conscious. And at that time, I've met my first manufacturing partner that focuses on producing plant-based products in mainland China. And so, we started, collaborating and come up with different innovative consumer products. And I think the early kind of feedback from consumers were actually very positive. So in the past couple of years, we started, increasing the percentage of plant-based product within the overall product portfolio. And I think that really is just the beginning of the, whole food tech trend in recent years. And I think it's really driven by a lot of factors. One is consumers' awareness of, sustainability and also environmental awareness for environmental issues. It's really driving consumer demand for alternative protein products. At the same time, I think commercially, a lot of the manufacturing partners or F&B partners that we see, there's also a huge demand in having different solutions that they can replicate, animal protein products during their manufacturing process. So I think there's a number of different factors really pushing the growth for, food tech in general. In terms of target audience, I think in general the food tech products that we see really target the younger generation. But everyone that wants to eat healthier or find better alternative to meat products, I think would be a good target segment for these products. But in terms of business model, it really is a wide range. It can be targeting providing ingredients to B customers, so it can be restaurants, hotel chains, or bigger food brands that incorporate these ingredients into their product portfolio. Or you can actually incorporate your innovation itself into creating consumer-facing products. So the business model really varies depending on the product that you built. In terms of our program, we really mostly work with companies with innovation that are ready to commercialize through incorporating their innovation into consumer-facing products. So most of the startup teams that we work with, the business model really runs like a food company or a consumer company. In the past cohort, we recruited 7 companies, so 5 of them were local Hong Kong startups, another one from Shanghai and one from Singapore. Within the Hong Kong startup basket, we had Breer, which is a fantastic local startup. I think they're amazing because all of the founders are actually still university students. They did a fantastic job. I think the concept is amazing. So they focus on investing in upcycling to be a possible way of producing products. And the way they do it is basically taking leftover bread and turning it into beer. So I think that type of innovation is really on trend, and I think a lot of consumers really resonate to that type of brand story. Another one that I really like is called Good Food Technologies. Not because the name is very similar to our program. They do a wonderful job in terms of coming up with a unique formulation for plant-based protein, where it really focuses on servicing the Chinese taste and Chinese preference. So if you look at a lot of these global plant-based brands, such as Beyond Meat or Impossible, I think that their initial target audience is really the Western consumer, where Good Food Technology, they have a unique formulation that focuses on imitation of fatty pork, and that really works well with a lot of the Chinese recipes and also appeals better to Chinese or Asian palates. So I think those type of innovation that focus on the small details can really differentiate some startups from a seemingly crowded space. I think if you're interested in learning more about getting into the food tech space, now is a really good time to consider it, because sustainability is a huge trend, and within it, food tech actually plays an important part. And a lot of times when we think about food tech, immediately we think about, oh, it's got to be alternative meat or different types of manufacturing of meat. But food tech is actually a very broad spectrum. So even though your current idea may not be related to alternative protein, meat, or alternative protein, there are other segments that actually falls under food tech and is very influential and significant and relevant in the sustainability field. So for example, there are other pillars that we look at in the program. So I personally care about sustainability in terms of packaging. So packaging innovation is a space that we are actively looking for more startups. And then there's innovation in ingredients that can help certain customer segmentation. So for example, different products that can make food better for diabetes, right? And then there are other segments like distribution innovation, and then finally agricultural tech. So there are definitely a wide range of types of companies that you can consider if you want to get into the food tech space. Well, we started DayDayCook as a content business, and I think that skill set of creating content and being able to promote yourself and your brand and your product in a more cost-effective way is definitely going to be a value add to your entrepreneurship journey. So I think that skill set is very important. Just kind of understanding the importance of social media and using it to your advantage, I think is important. It's a good skill set to get your hands on early during your journey.
Enjoyed it? Please follow our Patreon channel to learn more about international business, entrepreneurship knowledge, latest innovation, and scholars' insights, and even more. See you soon!